What are cigars made of? The anatomy of a cigar. Globally, all cigars are the same, elongated cylinders of tobacco. Would one look at a cigar and mistake it for something else? Is this generalized idea of what a cigar is enough to smoke it? Quite. But the most important things are, as usual, in the details. After all, who knows what nooks and crannies of our brains the knowledge walks in, and maybe an additional study of cigar science will allow us to enjoy smoking a cigar to a greater degree. We don't rule that out at all. What tobacco is used in cigars? Cigar tobacco is grown in regions such as the Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Mexico and the United States. The Central African Republic and Indonesia continue the list. The region where the tobacco grows, the composition of the soil where the tobacco bush grows, determines what flavor a cigar made from that tobacco will have. Of course, this also affects the appearance of the cigar. In other words, where the tobacco is grown determines everything. However, combinations of tobacco leaves grown in different regions, fermented and aged under different conditions allow for a truly limitless number of different flavors that a cigar gives us. The tobacco bushes themselves are grown for about 18 weeks, which is the time that passes from the planting of the seedlings to the harvest. Each tier of tobacco bush leaves has its own classification, but we will focus on a generalized form of it, which is used to describe the leaves placed in the filling of a cigar. Ligero. Ligero are the uppermost leaves of the tobacco bush. These leaves get the most sunlight and have the highest percentage of nicotine. Ligero leaves are placed in the middle of the cigar and their number depends primarily on its strength. These leaves in the filling of the cigar burn the slowest, which is also the reason why these leaves are put in the middle. Otherwise, the uneven burning zone of the cigar can ruin the whole impression of the cigar while smoking. Seco. Seco are the leaves of the middle part of the bush. Seco leaves are covered with a lot of hairs, thanks to which these leaves retain a rather thick film of substances released by the tobacco leaf during growth. And this film contains a lot of essential oils, for the aroma of which we appreciate cigars. Seco leaves in a cigar blend are responsible for the aroma. Volado. Volado are the leaves of the lowest tiers of the tobacco bush. They are dense, fleshy, and burn well. They don't add much of their own flavor to the overall tone of the cigar, but they allow the cigar to smolder and not go out while we have a leisurely conversation with friends while smoking. Cigar toppings. The topping of a cigar is the heart of the cigar. It is the composition of the toppings that shapes the flavor and aroma of the cigar. A blend of tobacco leaves may consist of two types of tobacco, or it may include several types, kinds, or even varieties of tobacco. As a rule, authors of blends try not to use more than 5 types of tobacco leaves to create their masterpieces, but this rule is not inviolable. The combination of tobacco and the tobacco filling of a cigar, its proportions and gives the cigar its uniqueness. Long filler. Long filler is a characteristic of the cigar's filling, indicating that a whole tobacco leaf was used in the creation of this cigar. Short filler. Very often the lower quality echelon of cigar makers use cuttings of cigar leaves in the making of cigars. The toppings consist of chopped tobacco and are referred to as short filler cigars. Most often such filler is used in machine-rolled cigars where it is the quantity of cigars produced that matters rather than their quality. Bonding sheet. The role of a binding leaf is to prevent the filling from falling apart. This role takes leaves that are fairly dense, but do not add their own flavor to the overall palate. Most often, tobacco leaves from one of the lower tiers of the tobacco bush are used for the binder leaf. Cover sheet. The cover sheet is the garment by which we meet a cigar. These garments are used to wrap the bonded leaf filling of a cigar, and the requirements for the tobacco leaf that is used as the cover sheet are very high. They must be strong and resilient tobacco leaves, without large veins, without wrinkles and spots, and looking just perfect in appearance. A lot has been broken in arguments about how much the flavor of the cover leaf participates in the overall flavor of the blend. But a lot depends on where and how the tobacco whose leaves are used as cover leaves are grown. The base of the pyramid of cigar anatomy is such parts as the head, the body, and the stem. The stem is the, usually, open part of the cigar and is the side from which the cigar is smoked. The head of the cigar is on the opposite side of the cigar from the foot. Depending on which group, Parejo or Figurado, the cigar belongs to, the shape of the head may differ. The rest is the body of the cigar. Cigar cap. The cap of a cigar is the part where the cover sheet is rolled so that the overall cover of the cigar does not separate. If you look closely, you can see that the directions of the leaf turns of the cigar cover and the cap are different. Before smoking, the cap is cut with cigar scissors or a hole is made in it with a special puncher. Cigar bow. Cigar bows today are as much an integral part of the cigar as all of the above, and it has now become a separate art form. That's actually all there is to the anatomy of the cigar and its inner workings. Smoke soft.